Okay everyone, so the market is down again. We're having a nice pullback over the last day and probably over the next couple of days as well, which will give us a decent time to accumulate. But which are the tokens you should be accumulating? Or I'm not really going to be talking about the tokens in particular, but which narratives are the ones that you should pay attention to, because we already saw AI booming, we already saw meme coins booming. Of course they're going to continue, but there are narratives out there that are going to take center stage because money is moving. You know, the focus of people keeps moving. They go from one narrative to another. So which are the next two narratives that you should really focus on for the next few weeks and months so that you can make even bigger gains? This is what I'm going to talk about. Let's get started. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner with myself, OJ Jordan. Today I'm doing this video very quickly to cover a few topics besides the fact that I'm going to talk about the narratives that you should focus on right now, the ones that I see a lot of attention of people, you know, a lot of buzz being created online. You know, money is, as I said, money is moving from narrative to narrative throughout this bull cycle. It doesn't stay in one narrative. So, you know, at first we saw some of the layer ones and layer twos really boom. Then we started seeing a lot of the AI tokens booming. DeFi tokens already had a nice decent pump at some point. Then we saw the meme coins. Lately, for the last few weeks, it was all about meme coins. Everyone was going into meme coins. So the narratives are shifting and they're going to be rotating. Of course, we're going to revisit the other narratives as well. But as we saw, some of those haven't, like for instance, layer ones, you know, the Avalanche and Casper and Solana and Matic and all of those that were booming, you know, in December and before that, they haven't really been doing that much lately. We will come back to those. But, you know, the focus has shifted. The focus shifted to meme coins lately, and they already had their pumps. This is what I wanted to talk about. Also, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin. I'm going to quickly revisit Ethereum. There is news about SEC and the Ripple case, which has been going on for so many years right now. And also a new court case is going to establish whether airdrops are securities or not, because they're actually taking the SEC to court. And this time is not the SEC taking someone else to court, trying to prove they did something wrong. It's the other way around, which is an interesting case. I want to talk about this very quickly. And then I'm going to go into the narratives that I mentioned. Also, I want to remind you about this is a pre-sale that I actually recently jumped in, and it's still ongoing. You still have time if you're interested in pre-sales, if you want to lock in some of those, you know, lower prices that are at pre-sale prices. I did talk about a few pre-sales over the last 3 months. One of them just last week launched their token, Space Catch. They launched their token. I said in my video that most likely it will be trading at around $3. And we got the pre-sale at 9 cents, and on the first day of the launch of that token it actually went to $3. So I was right on the money. I was really on point with my prediction on the price. Of course, it's having a pullback right now. You know, this is inevitable, of course, but it's very important to pay attention to these things early on. So this is another pre-sale that I jumped a couple of weeks ago. And it's a very hot new pre-sale because this is the token of a new DEX, decentralized exchange. And I did mention it already in previous episodes here, but if you missed them, here is briefly why I'm investing in this token. Well, it's called satoshidex. The project is a Bitcoin-centric decentralized exchange. It's built on the Stacks blockchain, and Stacks is a Bitcoin layer 2 for smart contracts. It's basically enabling smart contracts and decentralized applications to trustlessly use Bitcoin as an asset and settle transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain. In other words, for the first time now, we are seeing a decentralized exchange that is built for Bitcoin, because before, prior to this, and up until now, in fact, Bitcoin is largely excluded from DeFi, decentralized finance, because everything is built on either Ethereum. Then lately, you know, we saw Polygon and Solana also take center stage and take a lot of projects on DeFi and everything. But, you know, nothing for Bitcoin. prior to the taproot and everything, we didn't even have inscriptions on Bitcoin. We didn't have NFTs. Now we have that as well. Bitcoin is really entering the DeFi space. And this is now the first DEX that is built for Bitcoin with the help of the Stacks layer 2 blockchain. So it's for me, this is groundbreaking. And as every disruptive project, and especially as with every new DEX, we've seen that in the beginning, their tokens are really booming. This is why I'm jumping into this pre-sale. And when I got the pre-sale, it was slightly cheaper than the price you're seeing right now. The price changes. And as you see right now, you have about 6 days. Maybe by the time I post the video, because it will need to be edited and everything, by the time I post it, it will probably be 5 days or something like that. But 5 days is still enough to lock in this pre-sale at this price here, which is 1 cent. I mean, it's a very good price. So, I mean, it's slightly more than 1 cent, 1.5 cents of a dollar. And you can use Binance Smart Chain, which is what I use because this is where you have the least fees. But you can also use other networks such as Ethereum or Polygon, Arbitrum, Base, Avalanche, Optimism, whichever you have money at, and whichever is most convenient for you. I used MetaMask, so I will actually right now in post-production I will insert here the video of my purchase of the token so that you can see it going on as I'm talking about the project, because I already did the purchase. I already showed you this purchase in a previous video, but just to see how the process goes, maybe that will help you. Basically, this is, as I said, the world's first Bitcoin decentralized exchange. And it is a big deal, guys, because we saw every DEX, when they launch, their tokens boomed. It happened to PancakeSwap, it happened before that to Uniswap, it happened to SDEX, which it's a Polygon decentralized exchange. I got their token really, really cheap. I made 300% in a matter of weeks with that token, SDEX token, as it launched. So definitely the early days when these exchanges are getting more popularity and they're earning new users and expanding their user base and everything, this is when everyone starts buying their tokens, because their tokens are also providing utility. They're providing also governance, because this is a decentralized project, so you can vote on proposals and implement changes to the protocol. They use the DAO model. The governance process is designed to be transparent and accessible, which I really like. It encourages wide participation from the community, and this is great. I mean, we need the community to be involved. And if you're thinking that this wouldn't work because Bitcoin is just too slow for DeFi, well, you're wrong, because Stacks is a layer 2 solution, as I said. Its microblocks feature means that these DEX can have faster transaction confirmations compared to traditional block confirmations on the Bitcoin network. So no need to wait for 10 or 20 minutes for block confirmations. Also, staking rewards. They're a very appealing way to earn passively. So by staking, you can increase your profit over time. You can do this with this token. And the token is called SatX. It is still in pre-sale, and you can get it at that super low price of 1 cent. The thing is, DEXs usually see a lot of growth in their early days, which is why their tokens are also hot property in those early stages, and this is why I'm jumping in the pre-sale. And as I said, I did extremely well with Space Catch, which was the latest pre-sale that I jumped in. Before that, I did very well with the D.fi pre-sale, which I announced back in November last year. So it was like more than 3 months ago now. And they launched their token on 5 exchanges when they launched it, and it did also tremendously well. And it will keep doing well as they grow their user base. Same is going to happen to this one. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel as well, guys, and that you click on the notification bell. You're notified when I'm posting my videos, because it's good for you to actually catch these videos as soon as I post them. So yeah, I definitely recommend. I mean, I can see this token easily do a 10x in the first few weeks, and then another 10x over the next few months, because this bull run is actually quite strong. I know I'm saying this every time, but I mean, we've seen unprecedented moves from not only Bitcoin, from some altcoins as well during this bull run. So I have no doubt that this, I mean, buying this at 1 cent, and then, I mean, 10 cents is the least I can see this token, 20-30 cents easily. Anyways, the link is in the description below, so go check it out. And more importantly, as I said, they do have staking, which you will be able to take part in. I mean, if you're going to be holding these tokens for a few months, why not stake them and make extra cash, you know, from the rewards, make extra profit. This is what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, grab my link, check it out. Now, I want to talk about the Ripple SEC case first before I move into the other topics. Very briefly here, it looks like we might actually see this case wrapping up by the end of the year, even though many people are still at the opinion that it will drag on over the course of next year, which will be really bad because it means that XRP holders are not going to see decent profits during this bull run. And at this point, I don't even know who is holding XRP and why. I've said it many times already that during this court case, you're not going to see anything, any big moves with XRP. And this is time that you're wasting. You could invest the money into another token, take advantage of the bull cycle, you know, from another token. And if we see that the court case is wrapping up, then you can move them, relocate capital back into XRP if you're such a big fan of XRP. I'm not, but you can say I'm biased or something. I don't really see the point of holding money in XRP when XRP is not moving and everything else is moving. But you know, this is, I'm not going to go through the whole article, but this is it. There is a request by the SEC to impose fines and penalties. This development escalates the ongoing legal dispute initiated by the SEC in December 2020. So yeah, it's been 4 years now, guys. 4 years. If you're sitting on XRP for 4 years, you've lost a lot of money. Alleging, that's just a reminder, the case is alleging that Ripple raised $1.3 billion through sales of XRP tokens considered by the regulator as unregistered securities. So right now what they're doing is the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, is reportedly seeking $2 billion penalty against Ripple, according to statements from Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderoty. So if this is actually approved, if they manage to wrap it up quickly and pay the $2 billion fine, which we knew that at some point they will come to some sort of agreement where Ripple will just have to pay a fine and be done with it. And I feel for Ripple, this is actually probably the best scenario, because they probably also want to wrap it up and just move on and be able to see a proper price appreciation in their token, which for them is also going to be good. Let's not forget that a big chunk of XRP is being held by the founders. I mean, they are the ones dumping on the market all the time. So I don't know. I feel that this will be probably not necessarily a positive conclusion for the crypto industry, because if they are deemed a security, and if this is the ruling, then many other tokens will be deemed a security. But if we only focus on XRP and Ripple, for Ripple, this is probably the fastest way they can get out of this court case and minimize further losses, I feel. Ethereum is not doing anything much lately, and it's been, you know, quite a fall down in terms of, especially in terms of Bitcoin value. I mean, if we look at the prices right now, Ethereum has dropped to 0.050 in Bitcoin value. This is the lowest I've seen Ether in a very long time. I mean, these are kind of bear cycle prices. And this is really not good for Ether. I mean, on one hand, if you believe in the future of Ether, this is good for you to take advantage of this low price. Maybe it will drop a little bit more. It will go to 0.049. Which is where we saw it during the bear cycle. But this is really a very low support price for Ether against Bitcoin. And for me, this is what's important. I don't really care about Ethereum's price, Ether's price in fiat value, because for me, I'm trading altcoins solely for the purpose of growing my Bitcoin stash. And my Bitcoin stash alone is growing my fiat stash anyway. So my fiat value is going up either way. My whole point is to actually accumulate more Bitcoin, and this is why I've got money in Ether. If Ether is going down in Bitcoin value, And it's the same with other altcoins. I mean, another one is Link. Chainlink is also going down in Bitcoin value. Chainlink used to be at 42 and then 30 something, and now it's 26,000 Satoshi. That's not good. I mean, this is depreciating in value, even though Chainlink is going up. Same with Ether. You know, Ether, I remember buying Ether at some point at 0.53, at 0.56, 57. Now it's at 0.50. That's not good. So I'm looking at Bitcoin value. For me, it's important to see Ether recover, and I feel that it will recover. Hopefully, I didn't really do very much with the Duncan update, which happened a few days ago, a few weeks ago. It was supposed to reduce the fees. It only helped with layer 2s, but it didn't really help for on-chain fees. And that's not great. Now, the Purge is the next upgrade, which is basically a series of upgrades that are going to be implemented. Hopefully, fingers crossed for this to help. And one of the main proposals that is part of this upgrade is the most transformative, as they say here in the article, is that it aims to redefine how Ethereum nodes manage historical data. In other words, what they're trying to do right now is to make it easier and faster for nodes to operate so that they don't actually need the full history of the blockchain. I mean, there's quite a few things here involved in this upgrade. I will probably dedicate a separate video to it, but I don't really want to go into all of the details, especially, you know, they could be quite technical for some people. In other words, they're trying to make it easier and faster for nodes to operate, which is to do with scaling, and scaling is still a big issue for Ethereum. This is why so many new projects are going to other blockchains like Solana and Polygon and Binance Smart Chain and Avalanche and all of the other ones. I mean, for a long time, they were just pretend competitors to Ethereum. During this cycle, they're actual competitors to Ethereum. Not so much Cardano. I think Cardano faded in the background. I'm not interested in Cardano anymore. But Avalanche and Solana have really taken center stage, and Ethereum needs to fight back. So we'll see what happens. And very quickly about this, before I go into the two crypto narratives that I need you to pay attention to right now, crypto airdrops are not securities, lawsuit against the SEC argues. And basically, this is a lawsuit by a company, clothing company called Biba, that they have obviously airdropped an NFT some time ago, and they have not been taken to court by the SEC, but they're doing the opposite thing. They're basically taking the SEC to court as a preventive measure. The law permits a party to seek legal recourse before suffering damages if they reasonably believe they will be subject to unjustified enforcement actions. And with the SEC taking so many legal actions against different companies, I guess they decided, you know what, it's better for us to actually take this action first, not wait for them to start the process. And going on the offensive marks a shift for the crypto industry, very rightly so, the Decrypt reports here, which has historically played defense against sporadic SEC lawsuits filed against companies and projects without a warning. So this is why I'm mentioning this article here, because if this court case actually gets a positive outcome, it will be positive for the whole crypto industry, because it's going to talk about airdrops in general and not only the airdrop of that company. So it could actually be a very, very crucial court case that I don't see anyone talk about. But anyways, I guess the NFT crypto narrative and airdrops is not something that people are focused on right now, because what are they focused on? Well, the next narrative that you really need to be paying attention to, it's already happening, it's already big and everything, it's booming, and I see a lot of buzz happening already, but it's definitely yet to see the big pumps in these tokens. It is RWA. What is that? Well, you can actually find it very easy by going here. This is CoinGecko. You go to categories, and as you scroll down, you will see it here. Keep scrolling, and it's real world assets, RWA. So as you click here, you will actually see a list of all the tokens, all the projects that are building in this narrative, that are positioned in this sector. I don't really like the word narrative. Narrative is something else. This is actually a sector, and this is a very big sector that is yet to actually boom. Luckily, as you can see, it's in the red today in the last 24 hours. This is because the whole market is in the red because Bitcoin is pulling it down. And I have to talk about Bitcoin as well. Wow, this video is going to get very long, but I'm going to try to wrap it up. So I'm not going to talk about the different projects here. This will be a different video, but I just want to place it on your radar. Pay attention to RWAs. BlackRock has expressed a lot of interest in tokenizing real-world assets, and a lot of institutional investors are looking into this sector right now. And as you know, big money is institutional investors. So when big money is really going heavily into a sector, you know what's going to happen. This is not just retail investor here. This is why I'm saying that this is the next sector that is definitely going to boom heavily. It's already booming. I mean, Pendo is one of the best performance in my portfolio, and I've talked about Pendo already in my previous video where when I went through my watch list and my portfolio and everything. There are a few projects here in this sector that are on my watch list, but as I said, I will be talking about this in a different video. Another sector that is also seeing a lot of attention right now is DeepIn, projects that are building in decentralized physical infrastructure. And a lot of the times, these are projects that are using AI tools. So you would see that in this sector, there will be a lot of overlap with projects that are also positioned in AI and as well in DeFi and everything. But DeepIn is now a separate category. This is CoinMarketCap, but they also have it on CoinGecko as well and everything. So these are the two sectors that you should really pay attention to right now. This is where the focus is, and this is where money is flowing in heavily right now. So these are the two sectors. These are all the tokens. Of course, as you go on this in this category, you would see them arranged by market cap. It's up to you whether you want to go more heavily into the bigger market capitalization tokens, or maybe you want to scroll down and look into the ones that are with the smaller market cap, because tokens like Render, I mean, they're also very big market cap. So even though they're very popular and everything, they're not going to be doing 50x or 100x from here. So you might want to actually look into tokens that are slightly here towards the end. I mean, of course, not at the very end. You know, they might not have enough liquidity. You still want to have a token with a decent liquidity and everything. But this is something that we can talk in more detail in another video. Lastly, very quickly about Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin just closed weekly. It closed last week, it closed last month, and it closed the first quarter. So it did 3 closings with a bang. And what I mean is it actually had the highest weekly and monthly and quarterly close in its history. And this chart here is actually showing what happened when it did that. In previous bull cycles, when Bitcoin closed a monthly or a weekly, usually we're looking at monthly, you know, at a high, or at least at around a previous all-time high, and in this case above a previous all-time high. Bitcoin in the past jumped more than 300% every time when it was a bull cycle and it closed the monthly on a high like it did now. It jumped by more than 300% every time. So this is really a very bullish indicator. The fact that today Bitcoin is down and the whole market is down with it doesn't really matter. We're looking here at the macro, we're looking at the long term. This is a very strong indicator that we are yet to see the big jumps that are coming for the rest of this year, and even Q1 and Q2 of next year. So definitely we are early, we still have a lot of time. If you are thinking about investing in cryptocurrency and you just happen to see this video, mark my words, this right now is only the beginning of the big bull run. And the big bull run is going to happen over the course of the next 6 months and throughout the rest of this year, basically. And I'm here for it. I will be reporting on it. I will be doing a lot of technical analysis and keeping you up to date with everything that is happening with crypto. And of course, I will keep talking about the cryptocurrencies that are in my basket, in my personal portfolio. This is going to be in the next videos. I don't really want to make this video any longer. Thanks for staying until the end of this one. Make sure to check out the links in the description below, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. It's free. All of my content is free and has been free since 2016 when I started this channel. Thanks for staying until the end, guys. Again, share this with someone else who would benefit from watching it, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.